Hey there, it's the Slya. Today I am going to show you one way that unmasked Sub-Zero can beat Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, preceded by an endurance and arcade ladder fight. This video also demonstrates 3 out of many possible visual effects from the freeware Reshade as applied to this game. I am using the official PC version of Trilogy purchased from GOG.com, and using Reshade is not mandatory but a personal choice. So we started with Sub-Zero's endurance fight, and man does he do some punishing here. I selected the traditional CRT view, which gives a curved screen appearance like television sets of old. Then at the 2 minutes 15 second mark we see Sub-Zero's first attempt against Shao Kahn using other generic CRT effects. At the 3 minute 47 second mark his successful fight against Shao Kahn begins. Then at 6 minutes 22 seconds we generally demonstrate some other stages that look beautiful with arcane bloom and film grain selected. Man, Sub-Zero really hits it in this one. At the 1 minute 20 second mark just about now we see him start a brutality which I censored just before the opponent explodes and it gets graphic. But man, nearly 30 years on from this game's release, nothing sounds crisper and better than Sub-Zero's combos and the sound of his brutality, which is bloody hard to execute with a PC keyboard, by the way. Now in terms of setup, I am using an Acer Predator Helios Neo 16 gaming laptop with 6GB RTX graphics, 16GB RAM and a 13th Gen i7, and this is a mid-2023 model. Fantastic graphics but not the best input recognition I have seen for both old and new games. Plus I am presently using a routine keyboard instead of my proper mechanical gaming keyboard which needs replacement, or a controllers which I never got used to. So I might need to use some harder strategies with my setup, but more simpler and quicker options may work with controllers for those who are used to them. Now there are many videos which explain how each port of Trilogy is different, why Trilogy is fun but never became the competitive standard, and why Trilogy is harder than base Mortal Kombat 3 or arcade Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Trilogy is a great game with plenty of features, but besides changes such as roster additions, new moves, the aggressor system, better input recognition, modified reach of certain sprites etc., it by far has a significantly harder AI than base Mortal Kombat 3, albeit which can be beaten. Hey, after playing Trilogy, when you play base Mortal Kombat 3 it is a breeze. I will talk more about the AI in a separate video. But right now, in terms of Shao Kahn, the strategy one I'm going to show you works the first or maximum second time in base Mortal Kombat 3 and can work in anywhere between the first to the 10th attempt in Trilogy given its more challenging AI. It took me 20 minutes with a keyboard, and I have shown you the first 2/3 of one of my unsuccessful attempts and the full version of my successful attempt. The reason I did this is that in Trilogy, despite the harder AI, anyone can beat Shao Kahn with Liu Kang or Noob Saibot, but with any other character it is much harder to beat him than prior Mortal Kombats. Most people use a bait, teleport, spear and combo strategy with Cyber Smoke or Sub-Zero, but that doesn't work for me. Not with a keyboard. So other than the Liu Kang and Noob shortcut, there are a few ways to beat Trilogy Shao, but they may take a few attempts. I know there are expert players in many locations, including South America, who finish Mortal Kombat Trilogy in the very hard difficulty with each character without losing a fight. Well, firstly they are experts, secondly they have played longer, and thirdly they use controllers, which makes a big difference, as on some PCs recovery frames for many moves are much longer on the keyboard. Why I like winning with Sub-Zero this way is that, similar to the Liu Kang strategy one found, this is something I came up on my own before reading up all tricks from expert players online. We are 14 seconds into my successful attempt against Shao Kahn now. The successful unmasked Sub-Zero strategy was a mix of crouching till Shao does an upper shoulder charge and misses, giving you an opportunity to uppercut, freezing him in select windows where he is open, and then doing Sub-I's combo. Beating his fireball with a slide, although you will have to be very quick, and as he gets closer using jump kicks to cross him. Interestingly, these old games had an injustice-like mechanic where you could end up behind the opponent, or facing the other side. However, note that time Shao was way faster and specifically countered these tactics. In the actual fight he was moving much faster than he appears to in the video here. So depending on luck in Trilogy, this could take anywhere between 1 to 10 attempts depending on whether he gives you a chance to uppercut, and whether you escape his rush down to push you in the corner. After beating Shao Kahn, I saw game footage of a veteran player who beat PS1 MKT with every character in the very hard difficulty without repeating a single match. He played with much more skill than I did, of course. But some of his sub-I rush downs are near impossible with my keyboard. Also at one stage the expert uppercuts Shao, then freezes Shao as he gets up and then rushes and uppercuts again. This would be very hard to pull off on PC with a keyboard which limits your input response and increases move frame rates. And I could only freeze Shao after a cross, or if I caught him rushing down. Also, if I tried to freeze Trilogy opponents as they falls, they recovered quicker midair. And I then took heavy fireball chip damage or missed the freeze. If I tried freezing just as Shao got up, he would block in advance. You also cannot let Trilogy Shao corner sub-I. Sometimes he uses the ultra-rapid combo of downward charge and hammer. This combination is virtually unblockable and does heavy damage even with crouching block. You have to jump out of the rush down and cross before he takes you to the corner. So on the whole, an interesting strategy, and I am glad I beat all towers in Trilogy, albeit at medium difficulty, as that in itself is as tough as hard or very hard in base Mortal Kombat 3, and managed to pull off an unconventional masked Sub-Zero tactic despite being new to Trilogy, albeit it is 28 years since it released. Haha. We are now moving on to the third visual effect I added to this game using Reshade, wherein I am using Arcane Bloom and Film Grain to get other good settings out of this official MKT release from GOG.com. Trilogy is not too bad for a 28-year-old game, although its graphics haven't aged well on the PC. But they can be made more presentable by either tweaking the official version's configuration and running it in Windows mode, or using freeware at your own risk to tweak the graphics of retro games like this in specific detail. On the whole, Trilogy certainly had better input recognition and controls than base Mortal Kombat 3, more content and a bigger roster with a brutally tough AI. In Trilogy, the AI really comes at you hard and goes for the maximum at every opportunity it gets, so you need to be sharper in your takedowns and quicker on your combos. That is it from my side. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, as it takes a lot of time and effort to shoot tons of footage, then review it and edit out unusable chunks, censor select items, collate footage, and rearrange it into a theme with added commentary. Also, let me know what Mortal Kombat content you want to see next. I was about to save this one for Mortal Kombat Monday, but I will try finishing Mortal Kombat Trilogy or Mortal Kombat 4 with a new character for coming Monday. Cheers till then.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory.